Hello! This stretch is going to be working a little bit of the hamstrings, the hip flexors, and a little bit of thoracic mobility. I'm not going to do every stretch for the appropriate amount of time, so if you need to pause this video to hold things for a little bit longer, definitely do so. To start, I've got my feet wider than the mat because this makes it a little bit easier to touch your fingers to the floor if your hamstrings are really tight like mine. I'll go through to the middle and walk my hands in and walk my feet in onto the mat so they are more narrow, and this obviously makes it a little bit harder to touch the ground. I'm rocking back and forward to get a little bit of a further stretch through the calves and the hamstrings. I'm going to walk my hands in towards my feet, again, trying to get those palms nice and flat while keeping the legs as straight as possible. I do know it looks like mine are bending, but again, I have really tight hamstrings. And I'm just repeating exactly the same thing. I've walked my hands from the left. I'm bending the right knee, walking my hands over to the right side, bending the left knee, and I'm walking the feet in again and repeating exactly the same process. Just trying to get my hands down towards the floor, keeping the legs as straight as possible to then stretch the hamstrings. Couple bends in the knees to round and flex through the spine while trying to keep your hands in contact with the floor. Wrapping the hands around the back of your hamstrings, give yourself a hug. Try to straighten your legs as best as possible and then bend them. Straighten them and then bend them. We're going to walk out into the more hip flexor style stretches here. Taking that left foot back, dropping the knee, making sure the foot is pointed. Taking your hands down beside your feet. If you can, drop to your elbows there. Definitely recommend. If you don't have the flexibility like I don't, I just keep my hands on the floor. Sitting back on your leg then allows you to stretch through that hamstring. So you'll see me sitting back, trying to keep my head forward, chest forward. I'm touching the toes, getting a nice stretch through those hamstrings. All we're doing here is adding a thoracic rotation. So I'm keeping the inside hand on the floor, taking the outer hand up to the ceiling. Your hand follows that hand up to the ceiling. Of course, repeating that one on both sides before coming down into a cobra pose, which I almost forgot. Starting here on your elbows is the easier one, especially if you do have any lower back issues. If that feels fine, you can then move up to those hands and fully extend that chest away from the ground. Then going into a child's pose instead of downward dog would also be really nice to decompress that spine if you needed, but I've gone straight into a downward dog. I'm pedaling the feet one at a time, so I'm bending one knee, keeping the other one straight to really stretch through the Achilles and the calves. A lot of us also have poor ankle mobility, and this really does show. You guys probably can't see it as well as I can, but my right is okay and my left one is actually really tight, and I know this because when I'm taking my heel down towards the floor, it's not getting as far as the other side, so that means I do need to work a little bit on that hip mobility. I meant ankle mobility. Here I'm just doing all of my hip flexor stuff on the other side.